Hello, folks, and welcome to another exciting episode of the DCHL Outsider Podcast. We have so much excitement from roller hockey championships to MDHL action to an extended DCHL action Sunday. So we are pressed for time here. We're going to jump right into it. Roller hockey, guys, was awesome. Games were streamed. Both championships were streamed. The stream's cut out once or twice. There's a Wi-Fi issue at the Sportsplex. We're gonna work on it on Sunday. Gonna work on it on Wednesday. Hopefully get it back up and running. But D1, we saw the little big men in the young guns in the D1 finals. It was awesome. Watch the stream. I'm not gonna get too much into it, but the young guns did end up pulling out the win. Uh, Amazing game. Instant classic. A lot of the players are really glad that that game was streamed because they were unbelievable. Both teams played amazing, great goals, goaltenders were amazing. It was so fun to watch. We got a quick little interview. It'll be at the end of the podcast. It'll be Will Saar, Logan Saar, and Mikey V, their goalie. It was cool. It was nice and short. They were busy. They wanted to go celebrate. Their parents were there, so I didn't want to keep them too long, but it was awesome. It was great to talk to them. We're going to hopefully get them on in the future for maybe a longer interview, but it was great. It was so cool. Glad to have them. And D2 Championship, it was the Blades of Steel against the Wheelers in the final, and we had a shockingly low, it was a 4-2 game. Check the stream again. Goaltenders were unbelievable. Suds had roller, high scoring, lots of goals. And these goalies played unbelievable. They brought their best. It was another great instant classic game. Glad we got it on stream. It's so great to have championship games that are so close like that. It was awesome. We could interview anyone because some players were playing in the pickup. It was afterwards, so that's okay. We'll hopefully get someone from the champions. I will not tell you who it is. You have to watch the stream, or maybe check the Facebook or maybe Twitter, and we'll see if we can give you an update on that. But it was awesome. Roller was so cool. Hopefully, with the new season starting up, I think there's gonna be more teams. It's gonna be more exciting. It's gonna be great. But I was blown away how cool it was. I cannot give enough props to the teams, the players. It was awesome. So, all right, we're going down to Wednesday action. We'll do a little RHL later on. Hopefully, get another person on an interview. It was awesome. We'll give RHL the love. We're giving some MDHL Wednesday action love right now. First game of the day, we had Blue Steel against the Green Monkeys. This was a strange game as people from Virginia were having a very hard time actually getting to the game. There was a lot of traffic, and some players showed up a little bit later. No one actually saw Kevin Foley score the first goal of the game. It was unassisted. I don't know if it actually happened. Kevin Foley, don't know about that one, question mark. But Blue Steel came back. Rachel and Juliet both scored for Blue Steel. They were up 2-1. Brennan scored an unassisted one. And then in the closing minute, Taylor, as she always does, it comes up huge, scores the game winner, breaks a bunch of hearts, wins the game for the Green Monkeys. I'm so glad to see the D2 versus D2 games going to have a lot more parity, and the crossover games, while they were a little bit better last season, the shift in talent, a lot of the players moving around, some new teams haven't built chemistry. It's fine, it happens. D2 action is going to be awesome. I think the teams are going to be very close. So I think we'll see some really good games like this. TNT Crease Crashers was next. TNT ends up getting a 3-0 win. Alex Ortiz scores 2. Adam G gets the final one at the end. It was a good game. All the goals came in the second. It was a 0-0 game for a long way. TNT is known for their offense power. Crease Crashers play a more defensive game. So I think it was funny. The first period, the Crease Crashers had only had 8 shots and TNT had 14. But the second half was 8 shots for TNT, and they had 3 goals on them. So they really capitalized on that. Maybe they were a little more patient and so forth. But it was a good game. TNT is definitely coming out really strong, really looking focused on this. They are, they're the only team right now in D1 that's 3-0. So that's good. They're doing well. Lords of the Ring Barbarians both 2-0 as a result of crossover games. Crease Crashers, defending champions in the basement, 1-2, lost one of their crossover games to the Green Monkeys and lost to TNT here. So they once again find themselves looking up in this hotly contested D1 division right now. So we'll see if the good guys can get on back on track. We had some rec action. Wu Tang Clan against the Islanders here. This was a 6-3 game. Wu Tang jumped out to a 3-0 lead in the first half, and then both teams scored three in the second. The Yeah, Wu Tang's a good team. They're playing a lot of other teams close. There were a decent amount of penalties here. This was a little rough. It happens, but Marla, can't pronounce her last name for Wu Tang, had another goal. She's been on fire lately. She's playing really well. Her scoring's definitely going to go a long way. Kevin Shea had a goal, so their scoring's pretty distributed right here. John had a hat trick for them. Mike Farrell only one goal, one assist as well. But the team's doing a good job. Amber's got a pair of assists in that game. Islanders were doing all right. They had a hard time scoring early on, but that's okay. It's a regular season. Islanders tend to play a little bit better towards the mid end of the season as soon as they start to figure out their chemistry, figure out their lines, and get all that figured out. Islanders are a great team to watch. Love playing against them. Love watching them. Great group of players. Both teams are awesome. So fingers crossed that both teams keep it up. I'm going to apologize for any 2, 3, 4, 5 second gaps that we have in the cast right now. I'm coming off a bit of a cold, so I'm going to try to mute myself whenever I feel a cough coming on. So for your eardrums, I will make that happen. Gwendolyn Black Knights 4, Puck Mafia 2 in one of the later games. This was Puck Mafia is looking good. I feel like some of their new players, they added Costa, scored again. Chris scored for them. I feel like they're definitely adding some more talent. They got a lot of good pieces on the team. The big issue I think they have right now is they're still learning to play together. Developing the chemistry isn't gonna come instantly. And I mean, this was effectively a 3-0, 3-2 game. There was an empty netter scored at the end, but beyond that, Aaron had two, Matt Kelly had one, Joe Abbott with the empty netter taking up the garbage goal. But Puck Mafia is looking good, and Gwendolyn Black Knights are really coming together as a team. Um, yeah, this is Black Knights are in second place right now. They struggled a little bit last season. I think that just involved finding some more chemistry, getting the right pieces together. Dominic has gotten a lot better as a floor player. It's always so weird to me when I see goalies who play out and they do really good because I'm used to either you're a good player, a good goalie, not both. But a lot of goalies in the league are very good both ways. Jason Stitch, Sean Miller, Eric T. I'm trying to think of other goalies who play out, but there's a lot of Aubrey Moore is such a good floor player, but she can really never play floor because everyone wants her to play net. It's a good problem to have when you're good at everything, I guess. But in the closing game of the MDHL Wednesday action, we had Blade Runners 3, Ugly Pucklings 0 right now. Pucklings still looking for their first win, but they look pretty good against the Blade Runners here. Nick Mosher scored the first goal. It was a sick pass. Meg Noyes hit him in the slot. It was awesome. Great, give and go pass, found Nick backdoor. One of the easiest goals Nick's going to score in his life. Simon got the second one. Adam Marcus moves like Mr. Marcus. Big goal there. Adam joined me on one of the streams on Sunday. You should check it out. It was awesome. We were looking forward to it. We finally got to do it. Adam's cool. It was a great stream. Unlucky on that stream, though. I'll talk to you guys about that later. But it was awesome streaming with Adam. If you're interested in streaming, I mean, Adam wants to do it again. Ari wants to do it again. Everyone who streams wants to do it again. It's so cool. It's so fun. If you're interested in streaming, you want to do it with me, with someone else, you do whatever you want. Let us know. We'd love to get more games streamed. We love people being interested in it. It's awesome. Blade Runners are also awesome. Everyone is awesome. So Blade Runners looking good as always. Ugly Puckling still looking to find out, find their identity. But I definitely see a lot of growth on the team. I think the players are, starting to figure it out right now. And I think they'll do very well in the future. They're building that chemistry. They're making a lot of good plays. They had a lot of good shots on net. Daniel Newberg made a lot of good saves. Daniel is playing net for Blade Runners this season instead of playing out. There you go. There's another good goalie another good floor player he's a floor player who happens to be good in net. I Yeah, that's good on Daniel, and hopefully the Pucklings can turn it around. I think they're making a lot of steps in the right direction, and I'm excited to see what will happen in the future for them. So Sunday, 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 we had a lot of action here, a lot of craziness. This was one of our extended season games, excuse me, season weeks, I guess. There was a 10 o'clock game, which 10 o'clock p.m. game, so games end up going a little bit later than normal. And we've got even more exciting action to fit into the week. In the early morning matchup, we had Street Sharks against Hockey Dead right here. This was a always a good matchup. Street Sharks, good team. Hockey Dead, good team. Right now, Hockey Dead is in fact, I don't want to say just a good team. They might in fact be the best team in the rec division right now, tied with First Ladies Rec. Hockey Dead, coming off their championship loss, have picked up some new pieces, and they are ahead of the game right now. Their new superstar Sumit, um, 2 goals, 2 assists for Derek. Juan got an assist on that. Relatively quiet game. A couple early penalties, and beyond that, it was just Sumit scored twice in the third, and that was it. He's a player you got to watch out for. This dude can play. I Yeah, he's good. I saw him on the stat sheets here and there. Sud said he was a good player. Watching him play, he's the real deal. He's a very good player. He will be a very good contributor to Hockey Dead. Street Sharks doing what they can. Right in the middle of the pack, kind of where you expect most of the teams. A lot of parity in this division. Hockey Dead and First Ladies are ahead by a little bit there, but one game either way, and there's like a five-way tie for first. So I mean, rec division, a lot more parity. I think the Crazy Eights moving up definitely made a lot more space, and other teams are kind of figuring out right now. Every team's got to win. No real issues. I think it's good. The only big issue we had in rec was the awful name. Turn in Midnight Riders. We're all good. This division's looking great. Just gotta fine tune a little bit more. Let the season play out. It's gonna be good. Shout outs to Hockey Dead. Shout outs to Submit. He got his hashtag. Well earned. Second game we had Blue Knights against Lucky Sevens, and this was a bit of a crazy game for the Knights. They definitely wanted to try something new. They put a lot of their defenders up on forwards. They put a lot of their forwards back on D, and it really worked out for them this game. They had goals from Teal scored for them, Ben scored for them, Jake scored for them. That's 3 defenders giving you 3 goals right there. So being able to get a little practice in that way definitely helped. Lucky Sevens played really well, but ultimately the Blue Knights ended up winning 4-2. It was a really good game. I don't. I don't know. I think the Lucky Sevens have a lot of talent. They are going to be a great team. Again, a lot of it's just getting used to playing together and playing floor hockey. Some players are going to high stick a lot, and that's going to cost you. Some players are still figuring out the lines, figuring out the how to play with your teammates, figuring out the floating blue line, and that stuff that'll come with time. So I think they're doing good. Gwendolyn, big fan of their program, the way they develop players. Awesome. David's doing an unbelievable job. It's great. Glad to see Gwendolyn growing and doing so well. Third game of the day, we had Shangri-La High Rollers. Shangri-La jumped out to an early 2-0 lead right there, but High Rollers ended up getting 5 unanswered right there. And Dennis played net for High Rollers, did his job. And Brian scored twice for High Rollers. Brian scores big goals. Dimitriano gets a lot of the attention, a lot of the flash, but I feel like every time High Rollers are either struggling or in a close game, Brian's the one who scores that goal to bring them back. He scored the first goal to get them back here, scored the third goal to give them the lead. He scored the game winner in their championship. I feel like people lose Brian a lot, and he is one of the most dangerous players in D4. He can score from a lot of places. His shot just has so much vision on it. Every time he shoots it, it's curling into a corner. His shots never really curl outward and curve out and miss the net. His shots always hook back in and beat you on the far post. So Brian is a player to watch. Really good, good game. High Rollers kind of reset. You know, they were little struggling a little bit early on, but they've been bringing it lately. They're right now in second place in the place doesn't really matter where they're at. It's I mean, 3 points separates first and worst right now. D4, you know, I was afraid after last season that D4 was gonna change too much, or some piece was gonna get shifted, and you know the parity and the close tight games that existed in this division are gonna go away, but they haven't, and it's awesome. I love D4 is my favorite division to watch, to stream, to ref. It's, you know, the players are good. I know it gets a little heated every now and then, but the play is so good, the play is so consistent, and every game is really close. You never know what to expect. It's always a good game though, and that's what makes D4 so good. Speaking of D4 action, Gwendolyn Gladiators against the Stick Magnets right there. This was a little bit of a strange game here for the Gladiators. Dan Cordella scores two quick ones for the Gladiators, and then Matt Kelly gets you know, two more for them. You know, in between the Stick Magnets get a goal here and there, but Dan ends up getting two quick ones. He wanted that hat trick. He almost had it too. A couple times he almost had it. Dan's goals. It's strange. Both of Dan's goals assisted by Joe Abbott and Juliet, and both of Matt's goals were assisted by Becca and David right there. So both lines offensively doing a good job, making sure everyone's touching the ball. Stick Magnets played a really good game though too. So you know, it's not much to say. The teams are so close. Teams are doing a good job. The division's low scoring. Just, you know, there's so many scores in the division, but it's low scoring. I think the teams play very good team defense. They know that you can't really afford to slip up here and there because the games are so close. And yeah, I mean, D4 is everything you want in a division of hockey. It's just perfect. It's like the perfect division. Yeah, so God, D4 is so good. Let's move on to some exciting D3 action right now. We had Goonies Zambronis. Goonies end up getting a win here. Goonies are, in fact, one of the only undefeated teams right now. One of the only two undefeated teams last week. Undefeated and untied. The perfect clean slate. 4-0 Goonies right now. They are, you know, they're the team that made it to the finals last season. They definitely came out with something to prove. Aryan had a few goals. He played really well. Austin had a couple goals. Did a good job. Zambronis, you know, they're doing their thing. They're kind of still struggling a little bit. They're not playing poorly. I think they're just, it's hard when you add a bunch of new players. Jess is new. Alex Jones is new. Chris Max is new. Jamie Jacobson's new. I believe they got another new player too. So they got a bunch of new players. So, you know, I mean, they're doing good. But as soon as that chemistry starts, you know, starts developing, they'll be fine. You know, they lost Abdul and they lost Juliet last season. So, you know, it's going to be a little bit of a learning experience. I think they're doing a good job. Love the jerseys. I'm going to mention the jerseys every week. They're so good. They're probably one of the best jerseys I've ever seen. And, you know, you see a lot of greatness on the team. It's just as soon as these things start to click, they're going to be unstoppable. So, D3, you know, D3 is one of those divisions. It's kind of really hard to pin down. It's like that middle transition division between, you know, between the players who are still learning and the players who have been around and got the experience and figured it out. So D3 is always going to be a little bit of a hodgepodge, and it is what it is. We still love it. We had First Ladies slashing pumpkins here in the 240 game. This was streamed by Joe Shea and Adam Marcus. Shout outs to Joe and Adam. You guys are awesome. Joe and Adam really got the short end of the stick on this one. They were both playing in the next game, so they had to wrap it up with about 5 minutes left, and they passed the casting duties off to Jessica Nayrod. So 1-0 game when they left, about 4 or 5 minutes left, and when the dust settled, it was 3-1. 3 goals in the final 5 minutes that they couldn't cast, and it was exciting. It was awesome. We had a shorthanded goal. We had a power play goal. We had a couple penalties. It was awesome. Meg scored on a 5-on. Meg Noyes scored on the first goal of the game, 5-on-3. I'm not going to talk too much about the game, but it's really important to capitalize on your power plays. If you get a 5-on-3, you really, really, really need to capitalize on it. If you leave that opportunity on the table and you don't cash in, you're gonna regret it. You always regret it. And First Ladies capitalized on that, and they did not regret it. 3-1 ladies, and great game by them. Watch the stream. We love doing the streams for you guys. Hopefully you check them out. Let us know what we can do to make them better. If you want to stream with us, let us know. We want more people involved. It's cool. It's awesome. It's fun. You get to learn more about hockey. You get a good bird's eye view of the game. You get to know more people and learn people's names. And it's a real community builder, and it's awesome. So cool. Love doing it. Please watch. If you don't, I'm still doing it. I don't. If no one watches, I will still stream games. I love doing it. It's so fun, and I think you'll love doing it too if you did. So we had the D3 Gwendolyn Arabian Knights against the Stingrays here. This is a Gwendolyn team new to D3 right now, and a Stingrays team coming off a championship here. Still got that championship hangover, I guess. It was 5-3 Arabian Knights, but there was an empty netter involved. I played goalie for Stingrays. I subbed in, and it was a good game. Gwendolyn Knights played really well. Stingrays played a great game. It was definitely a game where I threw a couple goals I wish I had back. Gwendolyn played great, though. I don't want to harp on one thing, though. Gwendolyn, on Wednesday, had some issues on the bench. Had some issues today, Sunday on the bench. Players coming out at the wrong times, not serving their full penalties, a lot of issues like this. And Gwendolyn, you got to get your stuff together. You don't want to have one of these penalties cost you. But you've been lucky now. Just make sure. One piece of advice I would give is you never want to lose a game. Well, it's more of a statement. You never want to lose a game because of things that you could have fixed on the bench or before the game or anything like that. If you're going to lose the game, lose it on the floor. Don't lose it in the metagaming aspects of it. So Knights have been a little careless with some line changes, with some penalty management and things like that. So hopefully they figure it out. If I were, on the team, I wouldn't panic, but I would say, hey, this is an issue. Let's get it. Let's figure it out. And they'll be fine. Stingrays 0-4 on the season, shocking right now. And it's you can hit the panic button if you want. Stingrays are good; they'll figure it out. That's what they do. So I wouldn't worry; they'll be fine. Yeah, Felicia will do his thing, Kenny will do his thing. There was some Scotty on defense that hurt a little bit. Um, it's fine. They'll be fine. I'm glad Gwendolyn's doing so well. They're second place in division right now, 3 wins in their 4 games, doing great. Glad to see Gwendolyn thriving. Definitely, putting a new team in there, having them do well goes good. That makes no sense. Having them goes good. Having a new team, put into a division, having them do well to start, that's a really good sign because it means the team was well built and that they were meant to be in that division. And one of the biggest fears about adding a new team is if they go in there and they're too good and they kind of throw off balance, or if a team is 1 or 2 steps behind and still not there, you don't want them to be discouraged. So you really want the right amount of balance. And speaking of the right amount of balance, Crazy Eights moving up to D4 from Rec. Definitely not as easy for them right now. I think D4 is probably exactly right where they belong. They played the First Ladies here on Sunday, and they tried. Crazy Eights did their best. They had a lot of 40 shots on net, and First Ladies ended up winning 1-0. Crazy Eights, I don't want to speak too much about this game. I did play subbed in goalie for First Ladies. Aubrey Moore was not there. Aubrey is, I guess I was a huge handicap there because Aubrey's better than, almost everyone in net. So, me in net was definitely a huge advantage for Crazy Eights, but I dropped a shutout. It was, one thing I don't know much about playing goalie, but I felt like all the shots Crazy Eights had were, I'm not going to say they're easy to save, but none of their shots were impossible to save. They never really had me in a position where I was just you know, nothing I could do. So, I mean, they did good, had a lot of shots. I had a lot of breaks. The D for First Ladies is very good. Sari is unbelievable. Diane is great. Jess plays really well. Jess is great. And Celeste is so good. Celeste is so good. You know, she kind of new to First Ladies, new to the league a little bit. She plays with Goonies as well. She is very, very good. And people should really learn who Celeste is, how good she is. She's awesome. Oh God, she's so good. She's great on defense. She's got a good shot too. She scores goals every now and then. She scores goals for Goonies a lot. Great player. First ladies are great. Crazy Eights are great. And it was a good game. You know, glad Chris Day scored the winner. Great pass from Wendy and Mag. We're able to set it up, get the win. First ladies are in fact first place, sole first place in the D4 division right there. If that didn't happen and Crazy Eights won, Crazy Eights would have been tied for first with High Rollers. So much parity in this division. It's so good. God, I know I keep bringing up D4 and how good the parity is. It's a great division. If you play in that division, you gotta love it. Every week feels like a championship week, and it's great. So speaking of championship weeks, Mercury Rising, the 3-0 undefeated D1 team right now. First place going into today. Played the Puck Buddies. And Mercury Rising learned the Jake Berube special right there. 4 goals by Jake. Molly scored. Nantel scored. Sam Keeler scored. It was 7-2 game. Puck Buddies got the better Mercury Rising. It's going to happen every now and then. Mercury Rising were due for a loss. They were playing great, playing out of their minds. It was a really close game. And then it was 1-1 early, and then Puck Buddies got a couple goals. Mercury Rising trying to claw back. Great game. At the end of the day, I feel like some of the players just weren't necessarily ready for Jake. A lot of the players who play on Mercury Rising might have been a little unfamiliar with Jake and not used to the way the Puck Buddies dynamic is. And, Puck Buddies are in first place right now. Glad to see Puck Buddies feeling a little revitalized right now, doing their thing. But D1 division is going to be good. Puck Buddies doing well. I mean, all the teams seem to be doing well. The teams who are struggling a little bit have had some new players, have had some vacationing issues, so some core players might have been out, and it might, tip some games here and there. Not the biggest deal, but it'll even itself out as the wedding season and the vacation season goes away, and kids start going to school, and all the teachers get back to teaching. So D1 will be fine, I think. Speaking of D1, Puck U Redcoats. I don't know if there's a rivalry going on right now, but there might be a little bit of a rivalry. They played last season in the finals. They played 3 seasons ago in the finals. And yesterday, Puck U once again bested the Redcoats. I feel like the Redcoats are looking up to Puck U, trying to take them down and become one of the premier teams in the DCHL, but Puck U is still one step ahead of them. Pardon me on that. We had Joe Frew. He scores so many goals. Okay, I know it's a joke, like hashtag old man goals. Like, it was funny like the first time or the second time. He scores so many goals. It's not even funny. He scores all the time. I got to retire that hashtag. It's used every week. Joe F. unassisted goal, led off the scoring. Joe Shea ended up responding, picked one out of the air from Alex Ortiz and Marla. Great passing play right there. Redcoats get followed up. Alex Ortiz scores another goal. 2-1 Redcoats. But a couple little hiccups here might have cost Puck U. Might have cost Redcoats on that one. Puck U was able to capitalize. 3 unassisted goals for Puck U. That's a crazy stat right there. It was a good game. Both teams played well. That's really all you want in a 3-2 game. I'd prefer the 3-2 games to be in my favor, but that's okay. Puck U did great. Jake Smith scored an unassisted goal. Paul Steinitz got an unassisted power play goal. So, if every game's 3-2, you can't really complain, but Puck U did a really good job right there. Team's great, And both goalies played really well, Stelter and Dominic. They didn't face an insane amount of shots, but a lot of the shots were very high quality. So don't let that stat mislead you. 22 saves, 24 saves, 25 saves. It's not the quantity, it's the quality a lot of the time, and both goalies really brought it. So shout outs to Jason and Dominic. We had All Blacks Gorilla game. This was one of the shout outs to Shane Risner. He scored one of the most awkward, unbelievable, crazy goals I've ever seen in my life. Shane was playing D, ends up picking off a pass or something, and ends up deking about 14 players. I'm pretty sure he deked his own teammates one set of times, deked everyone else out on All Blacks, deked himself out 4 times, and then ended up scoring. He was rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. It was like he was running on ice, but it looked unbelievable. It looked so awkward, but at the same time, it looked so elegant and graceful. I wish we had that on tape. Shane's goal was a great goal by Shane. Gorilla Gang ended up winning this one 3-0. Low scoring game. Both teams played really well. Josh Lerner scored, Brennan scored, and aforementioned Shane with a goal of the game right there. So Gorilla Gang ended up getting that win. We had some young blood untouchable action here. This is always the battle of the referees, as most refs are either on untouchables or young bloods. So Suds always does this one solo. So untouchables ended up winning 5-2. It's a good game. A lot of scores. There were 7 goals for both teams, several different scorers. A lot of good passing. A lot of good team effort right there. So there's 2 goals I got to talk about. First goal for Youngbloods was Kristen Murphy jumped about 40 feet in the air to pick off this pass in the offensive zone, kept it in, and then ends up deking a couple players and then scoring. It was a great individual effort, awesome play on her part. Shout out to Kristen for that sweet goal. And the second goal, awesome. Taylor Stedman, shorthanded goal. Ends up getting a pass from Patrick Noyes, who picked it off, and she ends up on a sweet breakaway going back, forth, stopping on a dime and roofing it. It was beautiful goal. That was very impressive. It was awesome. Both teams played really well. This was always a close game, and 1 or 2 saves another way, or one shot that goes just a little wide, and this is a very, very close game. So, Untouchables doing their thing. Youngbloods playing really well. It was a great game. Great game. A lot of highlight reel goals here. So not much more to say about that one. Taylor's goal was sweet. Kristen's goal was sweet. And let's do it up right here. We had Jager Bombs and Funk. This was a D2 grudge match. Seems like every season in D2 there's always a 10-7 game, and this one happened to be it. So I'm going to read off all the goals here nice and as quickly as I can. Goal scorers: Emily Ox, Sean Fastbinder, Paul Steinitz, shorthanded goal, Sean Miller, Jamie Brennan, Simon, Paul Steinitz, Sean Miller, Keith, Blaze, Sean on the power play, David Boyer, Paul Steinitz on a penalty there. That was all the goals right there. 17 goals. Unbelievable. This was just a shooting gallery. Both teams played awesome. Love seeing a high-scoring game every now and then. This is some D2 hockey right here. Run and gun. So, there's really not much to say about this. A lot of goals. Goals. Keith played good. Emily Yox, 2 quick goals to start. It's unfortunate she scored 2 quick ones, and then 15 more goals were scored after that. So, great game. A lot of action. So, Jager Bombs still have not taken a loss in a long time. No, they have 0 losses this season, and they had 0 losses last season. They had a bunch of ties sprinkled in there, but they have not gotten an L on the scoreboard or the stat book, or I messed that one up, but we'll live. So 10 o'clock game, 10 o'clock special. We had Lizards Walkers here. 8-5. Long game here. The late ones tend to seem like time slows down there. Yeah, good game. Keith had 4 goals. Jeff Carter 2 goals, subbing for Walkers. I believe Jeff Carter will be picked up by the Walkers. Very good player. Should be playing in D1. I believe it was a scheduling conflict is why he did not play D1 previously, but he is a very good player. Chris Thorpe 5 assists. We also had the Lizards debut of Andrew Kramer rocking his bucket hat. I don't know about the new style look, but he played very good. Had 3 goals and 1 assist in the loss. Lizards are definitely struggling this year with their roster. On paper, they're great. On paper, they're probably one of the top teams, but they're for lack of anything else. Bill Weeks' wedding is really throwing things off. Bachelor party people miss, wedding people miss, things like that. Bill hasn't been around. Bill's a great playmaker, really real difference maker, and him not being around for that is definitely going to hurt the team. And it happens. It's life. It's cool. But as soon as the Lizards get Bill back and get a little more consistency in the roster, they will be a force to reckon with. So, you can look at Lizards and say they're struggling. I look at Lizards and I'm terrified because this team will be unbelievable when they get all their pieces there. And if you sleep on them now, they will bite you. So, do not sleep on any team at any moment. On any given day, any team can beat you. And when teams are missing some of their star players, you might get a little advantage there, but when they bring them, they will make you look bad and they will make you regret overlooking them. So that was a quick recap of D1, D2, D3. I'm not going to read off all the divisions. I should have said quick recap of Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday. That's what we got here. So a little housekeeping before we get to the quick little Young Guns interview. We're on episode 7 of the podcast. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Thanks for all the feedback. Thanks for the kind words. You guys are so great. As always, we're looking for more people to do interviews with. I want everyone who's interested. Let me know. I would love doing a quick little interview. It's fun. It's like 25 minutes. It's great. I love it. It's so cool. That's everything that you would ever want in a podcast. You get to meet new people, talk to them, talk about hockey, talking about life, ask random questions quickly. It's awesome. So if you're interested, let me know. Last week we had Pete Lang. This week we had a little impromptu D1 Championships roller celebration, things like that. It was cool. So we're looking to do more interviews, more guests. Let us know if you want to be on. Let us know if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions. We're open for feedback. Let us know what we can do to make the whole social media thing cool. Streaming. Love doing the streaming. If you're interested, let us know. Twitter. A lot of good hashtags this week. I loved them. This week was a really good week for hashtags. I don't know why. I feel like, I don't know. It was good. A lot of the situations were good and led to some cool hashtags. Thank you for. It's just cool. I love that people are so supportive and they like it and they're into it and it's really cool. So that's about it. Check the Lost and Found. There might be some stuff floating around still. Reunite yourself with all the lost water bottles and gloves and shin guards and all that stuff. So we're going to do that. There's a couple other things we're going to work on. We're trying to make every week focus on something new, try to improve everything. It's awesome. Again, thanks for everyone who subs, who plays goalie, who scores. You guys all help the league function and thrive. So, hey, if you got 2 games and say, hey, maybe I can score a game in between, talk to Suts, let them know, hey, I can score this game, or hey, I can, I'll do a podcast interview, or hey, I'll stream a game, or hey, what can I do to do this, or whatever. And if you're interested in that, cool. If not, thanks for the feedback, and I don't know what to say. It's so cool. I love the community, and I hope you do too. So beyond that, we are going to cut to a quick little interview with Will, Mike, and Logan. So, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for some more exciting action next week.
Okay, we'll wait for Logan, I guess.
We are not going to wait for Logan, folks. We are joined by some of the Young Guns superstars here. Please introduce yourself to the millions of people who are listening to this podcast right now.
I'm Will Sarr.
I'm Michael Vetter.
So Michael, if you had watched the stream, superstar goalie, really kept Young Guns in it in that first half. He was under fire repeatedly, made a lot of saves, got a help from the crossbar once or twice. Will did his job.
kind of fell behind, and Logan kind of carried the team. Not gonna lie, Will, little brother did your lifting.
I won't disagree with you. I won't disagree with you.
So what are you guys' thoughts on winning your championship? Will, is your first one? I believe it's your first as well.
Yeah.
So I've been playing DCHL leagues for like 4 years now. Haven't won a single championship. Had a few chances earlier this year, but feels nice, you know.
Let's not speak of that earlier chance we had.
We had one a few weeks ago.
We did. So
lost it in a shootout.
So what did you guys see that game? What were your thoughts when you were down 3-1 and they were really bringing it?
I don't think we were too worried, honestly. We played really well last week. We weren't playing up to that same standard in the first half of this game, so we knew we could turn it around.
And we are joined by hero Logan Starr. Logan, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I am great. So what were your thoughts on the game?
I thought it was really great the way we started the second half of the game. We got up 4 goals there. And Five. Okay.
You guys scored, 7 unanswered, I believe. It was 3-1, and you guys were up 8-3.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was a great start, and Michael kept us in there.
Yeah.
And they scared us a little bit at the end, but we stayed strong.
So what's the difference between roller and ball? I know Logan and Will both play on Wednesday, and they played Sunday. So what differences do you guys notice in between the games?
It's definitely a lot more open.
Okay.
I mean, the puck just moves faster. There's no offsides, no icing, so there's a rule difference right there. You find you have a lot more space, and stick handling's a lot easier for sure because you don't have to run while you're stick handling. You can glide on your skates. So I say those are the biggest differences for me.
Okay. What about playing goaltender? You chose sneakers over skates. Is that a personal choice, or is that you just don't know how to skate?
It's the second one. It's a necessity choice.
Okay. Do you think there's an advantage to having rollerblades or just playing on sneakers?
I mean, I think it depends on the situation. I think in terms of lateral movement, it helps to have sneakers. But in terms of breakaways, I think it definitely helps to have skates because it's easier to go forwards and back and adjust to the shooter a little bit better.
How long have you been playing goalie?
Since April, I played floor for 3 months, and then we've been playing roller ever since this league started a few months ago.
Okay, so you're not a 7 or 8, 10, 12-year goalie. You're new to this?
Yeah.
Well, that's scary.
And the MVP.
And the MVP, co-MVP.
Yeah.
So Logan, what is it like having Will as your brother? Do you feel? That's like a weird question. Okay, so I'm an oldest brother, and my younger brother's better than me at everything. So, how do you feel having that relationship? Because I've played with Will. Will is unbelievable, one of the best players I've ever played with. How do you use that to motivate you, or how do you make that work?
I mean, you're right. He's one of the greatest players that I've ever seen, honestly. So to have him as a brother is perfect because it just means I can get better every time we play together.
Okay, how long have you guys been playing hockey?
I think we've been playing for 6 years now.
6, 7 years, something like that.
7 years, yeah.
Is that organized or just in general?
Well, we didn't start skating until about 6 or 7 years ago, actually.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
I was 13, 14. You were.
I was
11,
10 about.
You guys are aging yourselves right now, which at this point in your life is a pretty good thing.
Yeah, not bad.
Any thoughts on when you guys were up 8-3 and they started coming back? What were you guys doing? What were you saying in the huddle when they called that timeout? What was the real plan?
I wasn't too worried when they.
You're not too worried now.
When they scored that first one, I wasn't too worried. When they scored the second one, you start to get a little worried that the floodgates are going to open. We were going to call a timeout, but we didn't want to give them a chance to regroup too. So we decided when there were 2 back, if they get another one, then we'll call timeout. We'll try to regroup. Luckily, I was able to go down and score again, so that made it a 3-goal separation. And from there, didn't come too close ever again.
Do you think the age difference really played a factor in that in the second half? Because it was definitely a tale of 2 halves. You guys came out firing in the second, and you're a bit younger, a bit faster. Do you think maybe they're a little worn out, or maybe caught off guard by your speed?
I think that definitely has something to do with it. I think mostly it was we changed our play style, but for sure I think we had a little more legs than them in the second half. I mean, we didn't come up with the name ourselves, but we are called the Young Guns. So
we're the Young Guns.
I think our average age is if everybody's here, it's 18 or 19. So got a couple of years on everybody else. But,
so what are your plans in the off season?
Well, all of us are at school. All of us go to University of Maryland, so we're unfortunately not going to come back for next season. But hopefully next summer we'll play roller again, play ball again.
What are your majors?
I'm fire protection engineering.
Yes, and you work at the NIST, correct?
Yeah, I worked there this summer.
Okay, correct.
Yeah, I'm accounting and finance.
Accounting and finance.
And materials science and engineering.
Very practical degrees. I like it, guys.
Yeah.
Do you have any final parting thoughts to your teammates, your opponents, the league, anything, any words of wisdom or awesomeness you want to share?
I really enjoyed the league this year. I thought it was probably the best in terms of parity. We lost and won to every team that we faced at least once. So it was great competition for sure. So it was fun to play against you guys.
Yeah, I hadn't played in a real organized sports league really since baseball in high school, senior year. So it was great to get this experience back, and really play with a lot of people who both on my team and the other team were really gracious in the way they won, but also the way they lost, and really making it a great competition, as well said with the parity, but also being really friendly and just recognizing that it is still a game.
Yeah, and like they said, the games were close, but everyone was nice. So that's what I think.
All right, cool. All right, guys, thanks for joining us, and congratulations on the win.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.